Hey, g'day, winner. I'm Dr. David Dugan, founder of Abundance Global. Abundance Global is a business advisory and coaching company, and we specialize in taking small businesses of 2 to 3 in the team and taking them to 200. And we help them to really scale the business profitably. We've been doing this well over a decade. We've worked with over 2,100 businesses, and for the last 8 years, helped them to increase their profit by 253% year on year on year, 8 years in a row. So we know what we're doing. And a real big part of the way we've been able to get the results is through the very initial phase, the first 4 months that people work with us. They go through a business boot camp. Think of it like a MBA that's for small businesses over 4 months. And that is the on-ramp. Think of it like a freeway, and you've got an on-ramp to get up to speed. Well, that's exactly what we do. Now, that phase is called the Accelerator phase. It's the first 4-month cycle that people do with us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what that is. I'm going to give you context for what it's about and how it looks. So if we look at the journey that someone goes with us, there are some very distinctive phases that they go through. In the first 4 months, in the first year, we go through a calibrate phase before someone works with us. That's to get the foundations in place. Most people have got businesses that are not scalable because they haven't got the right pieces in place. Then the second year, see these years down the bottom here, second year is about now we can put the pedal down to the middle and we can accelerate. Most people kind of go, all right, this is good now, we're getting it. Now we can really scale. Scale means for every effort you put out, you get a disproportionately higher return. Now, if you look at how we do these years, they're all broken down actually into 4-month cycles. We believe that 4-month cycles works much better for small to medium-sized businesses, not quarterly rhythm. And once people usually do at least 3 years with us, that's when, at that point here, then they can evaluate the business. The business has usually got some solid foundations. What are we going to do from here? What I want to focus on is the very first 4-month cycle. Now, mastery is what 99% of people who work with us, they work with us with this product. The very first phase, the very first cycle, these are the 4-month cycles. This first 4-month cycle is an accelerator phase. It's a unique phase. It's different from everything we do in mastery. Why it's different is because we know that most people come in, are super busy, they're super stressed, they've got a lot of things that are going on in their mind, and their ability to implement any new strategies is pretty poor, to be frank. And so what we said is, okay, what would we have to do to get someone up to speed so they can really maximize the potential that's in the business? I mean, okay. And then we looked at the 8-figure businesses, the $10 million plus businesses that we work with. And you know what? Every 8-figure business owner has told us this. What they've said is, we had so much more fun when the business was 7 figures. We were making more profit when we were 7 figures. It was way less stressful when we were making 7 figures. And I mean, this is crazy. So what would we have to do if we could go back in time, if we had to start the business from scratch and to build it properly, to build it well? What would we need to have in place so when you're 8 figures, it'd be great? And that's what we did. For doing this now for over a decade and working with the people that we have, we get a profit loss and balance sheet every month so we can see what really, truly makes a difference in the business. And so that's what we help build out. And that's what the accelerator phase is. It's the first phase. Now, if you're listening to this, you could be an owner of a business. You could be the founder of a business. You could be more than likely a 2IC, a 3IC, or someone who the leaders within your organization is looking at you and going, you know what, you've got potential. We see you have the ability to expand, to grow, and to become even more than what you are. And so they've said to you, the accelerator is what it is. Now, as I said a little earlier, the accelerator, or the very first phase of this onboarding that we do, is a bit like a boot camp, a business boot camp. It's a bit like doing an MBA in 4 months, but it's a real MBA based on what's happening in the business right now, and it's going to help the business to scale. So what is this accelerator? How does it work? Well, the first thing is, as far as your commitment to it, and this is what I've got up on the top here, is you've got to be putting out at least 4 hours a week to do the activities. Now, depending on your level of mastery, Some of these are going to be quite quick. You'll get it done earlier. Some of them, you might go, oh, you'll do up to the 4 hours. And if you really need some help, you might do a little over it. What's involved with the accelerator? What are the components? Well, this is what the accelerator is all about. There are 3 outcomes from doing the accelerator. These are the things down the bottom here. Number 1, by completing the accelerator, what we've discovered is that it will increase your cash flow by 20%. That's what it's designed to do. It'll give you half a day a week back, which you can do more work, or we're going to suggest you take it off. And the third thing is give you this uber confidence to scale the business. You feel comfortable with making the right next steps. Because you have got clarity around what the next steps are and how to pull it all together. Now, with that one there as well, we know that most people, when they get towards the end of the accelerator, they've either recruited another person or they're on the way to do it. Now, if we break down these 12 pillars, and I think of this as in Greece, the Parthenon, these are the pillars that are holding up the roof. There are 3 areas that we focus on. What we want to do is we need to drive more leads into the business. We need to convert those leads with some deal flow, and then we need to make sure that we're getting cash flow off the back end of that. Now, you'll see that they're all color-coded, and each of the pillars hit a different, or hit an area of those lead flow, deal flow, or cash flow. These are done in a very specific order. So what is involved in the accelerator? Well, number 1, you've got to put in 4 hours a week. Out of those 4 hours, part of it will be a live call with the other people that are in your pod or in your group. And the coaching team will be on there, giving you inspiration, helping you with any questions. You get to meet the other cool cats that are there as well. Then there's some videos online. They'll go through giving you the big picture, and there's little subset videos that'll take you through all the components that needed to be put into place. And then there'll be a playbook or a spreadsheet for you to get in and to complete. So this is what you'll have as the tools. You get on, have a live, and then you go through it and you watch the training videos, and then you'll implement. As far as implementation goes, you've got 48 hours to implement. You're going to learn what you need to, and then you're going to implement straight away. Once you've submitted your homework 48 hours later, you're going to receive and you're going to give feedback. And then you go, cool, this is great. Now I can do my second version based on that. This is 4 months of implementation. Now, here's the truth. I know that if you've been selected to be on and do this accelerator, then you are a smart dude or dudess. And you will already know, or you should know, all of these things here. Now, my request to you, what I've seen is, having done this now for so many years, is the very best business that we've ever had that has come on, at the very best, had only 65% of all these pillars into place. And if you just miss one of these pillars, then you're never going to make it. So even though I know you know all these things, and you would have heard them, as the ancient Chinese saying says, to know and not to do is not to know. This is not about how much you know. This is all about implementation, and the game is won and lost in implementation. It's 4 months of implementing and putting things into place. Each one of these layer on top of the other. So you put it into place, great. Got to keep it going. Then you do second one, third one, fourth one. They're done in a very specific syntax or very specific order, starting here and going across. You only get, each week, you only get one pillar. You can't go ahead, which is you're making sure that you follow through. A couple of pillars are also over a couple of weeks, so you've got plenty of time to do it. Now, there is a kickoff call that we do to start off, which is more of a logistics call, making sure you've got all the bits and pieces ready to go and you understand what you need to do. And then there's an elevation session that we do at the end to make sure that when you've completed, you know all the things you need to complete. And for those that continue the journey with us, they'll then come into the Greater Abundance Global community, and that's where they'll be coming into all the other things that we do post the accelerator. Now, for a lot of 2 ICs and 3 ICs, that won't necessarily be needed, but at least this is going to give you the huge foundations, and also you're going to get to mix with a lot of other cool cats as you're doing this process. So this is what the accelerator is about. Again, one thing I'm going to say is, if you've been nominated to do this, then someone has looked at you and said, you've got something. We believe in you. You've got a lot of potential, and we're going to invest in you. In fact, well, as I'm recording this, it's a $15,000 investment. So please make sure you treat this with the respect and the gratitude that it deserves. And make sure that the person who nominated you to do this, you give them some kudos and some thank you, because this is a massive, massive leg up. The skills that we'll learn here will take you through a lifetime. This is an amazing progression for you going forward. And I can't wait to see you and to see the results that you get as you go through the accelerator. Welcome.